Hi guys. Um, I think yesterday's flower code suddenly got a whole lot interesting. What you're looking at is the Gabor wavelet AI system that's been trained on a whole bunch of faces. And as you can see, it's trying to see me. Okay, let's turn me. It's trying to see me as a learned face, like it has seen a bunch of faces. And kind of depending on the take, how bright I am and so forth, it picks kind of like if there was a brighter color, it would see me as white. Now that there's a browner color, it sees me as black. But so this is getting pretty damn interesting. And why? Because this model is only 35 megabytes, and not only that, it has trained only for 2 epochs. This is the same. This is the same as the flower thing that I shared with you guys, but so this is not your average pixel based model. This is still the Gabor weird ass brain inspired thing. And of course now the question becomes, and let's make the wild assumptions. What if we see like this? We are a world model inside the brain, and then the result is this would be kind of perhaps like the when the brain breaks down, what you start to see kind of peek into the thing, but this is the smooth qualia. Now, what does the eye do? It's constantly scanning the world. We see sharply only in the middle. We don't see the edges sharply. We see only the middle. And now, why is this thing only seeing faces? Well, because it was only trained to see faces. And as you can see, only 2 epochs. I had an earlier version that tried to do it, but it couldn't. But then I trained the thing on a whole folder, and these are all the faces. It started to imagine. And as you can see, the model is only 31 megabytes, and it was basically trained on. I made a new version that only sees faces, and we have 200,000 faces, and it saw them twice. And after seeing them twice, well, here we are. What if I had trained it to see world in general, a general world model? What if that's what we are? What if that middle thing is Qualia? Of course, yesterday I was making mistakes as I was talking. I was saying that what if when we see the kind of glitches in the eyes, the scotoma, scintillating scotoma, the visual migraine, what if it's kind of the entorhinal grid shining through? Of course, no, in the visual cortex it would be the V1 areas and so forth, where they have pinwheel things and so forth. And so, okay, that was one idea, but this morning, this is mind-blowing. It's just absolutely freaking mind-blowing. And my first thought, of course, was that this could be trained on single face. If it was trained on single face from a single different angles, I guess it could become very, very good deepfake. Claus started to instantly say that no, 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 no. I almost feel like it's strange to say that, but I think yes, this could become incredible deepfake. You could make a single face model, kind of like, well, why do that? I don't know. But the mind-blowing thing here is, guys, if you look, it's trying to, well, okay, like here, it has only seen faces from the front, but it's trying to do three-dimensional. It's kind of trying to track my face. And now if you think of this as death model, if you think of this as qualia, literally if you think of this as learned qualia, things get really super duper interesting. A thing I did not tell you guys yesterday was that what I was thinking was that if the brain works on theta frequency, which is pretty low and kind of a blur, was that what if the brain gets the highest frequencies from the world actual, so through the eyes, so we have a model inside the brain, world model, and then we get the higher frequencies, the kind of the feeling from the actual through eyes. So the world model gets updated constantly. But yeah, so this is kind of what I've been thinking about. And this was actually this is the flower system. I just you can ask from your local AI to do changes. Anyone wants to do those? I guess I could just put a folder. Basically, this is what I did to it. I updated the flat folder, so I trained it with one folder, and then I had to change that folder, return flat folder, and we'll take image of that and ask from your AI to do that. And so I had just I downloaded the Celiba faces and then just did that. But yeah, two epochs and thinking about world model. Of course, I mean like yeah, must be full of crap, but the weirdest thing is that when I was talking about the idea about the gamma, and theta, so I was basically I was thinking that what if the theta model is the world model in the brain and it's kind of a blurry, and then we get the gamma frequencies. And I've been lately talking about chandelier and basket cells, which are something that actually hook up to normal neurons at the place where they fire. The thing I've been talking about a lot, axon initial segment. And it turns out that yes, they work in gamma frequencies. They work super fast, so that image kind of could be easy to imagine that the world model comes in through gamma and chandelier, or through these chandelier neurons and basket neurons have something to do with it, and then they are kind of working together with the existing world model, which works in the other neurons. And this would be kind of like sparse coding, they call it. A lot of they imagine that this is what the brain does. It brings sparse code, and it will just the world model runs. We get the with the sparse coding, we get the gamma frequencies. The internal model is running, and when it's producing an image, it's asking from the actual world through the eyes, is the gamma frequency, is it aligning with the internal theta frequency? Are they, and this is kind of what this thing was supposed to be phase locked. And then if the two align, then it's allowed to fire. But then I guess like if you would have, let's say that you have a problem with that axon initial segment, and this whole thing, you may start to hallucinate and all that. But so world model, external thing, and what else? A thing I was talking about yesterday with Claude was that there was actually a huge problem in the what I was talking earlier about the axon initial segment. I was saying that what if the frequencies start there? Well, the frequency in the axon initial segment, of course, is super duper high because it's just producing the ping, and there are the axon initial segment grooves, which are I think 190 nanometers apart, and I think Claude at some point compared that it would be like the order, like if you talk about the theta and gamma, and then we go to whatever frequency that would produce, it's like tens of thousands times higher in the ping of that, and that it really can't sample the low frequencies, so that kind of is going out of the window. But this is mind blowing. This is absolutely mind blowing. If I had a better computer, let's say we had a supercomputer and we trained a model that sees at super high frequencies and was trained on the world, what would we get? I know from previous examples, if we have a world model and it uses normal AI system, it can learn to see the world. I actually have been playing with something called the Unit Y4. I wonder if I should show it to you guys. Well, I'll show it to you guys. So this is kind of like normal thing, normal AI model. And of course I had to press Q here. And since you don't see me, I can put the webcam away for a little bit, but so this was a long time ago. This was very, very long time ago. But yeah, Claude kind of is a party pooper when it comes to that system. But like, if this was the internal model, how the brain works, then the brain is scanning the eyes. If you notice, you're okay. We can't get it properly to work. Okay, so let's just go back to the. I'll just bring myself up here. And well, here, let's just remove that. And but yeah, of course, if the brain works something like this, then you have the scanning, the gates. When the eyes are constantly, like if you guys looked at my eyes for a while, they are doing the scanning of the world. But as you probably notice yourself, if you're looking at the world, you see in the center sharply, and the edges are blurry, just like in that system. What does it mean? Could this idea be valid? I don't know. But this is based on the flower code, and really it has to be updated to do this face thing because it cannot. The flower thing only let to see flowers. And the key was training on a massive amount of images. Like that was the kind of with only 2 epochs, it started to see the faces that well. And only 35 megabyte model, just absolutely mind blowing. But of course, I am complete novice, don't know anything, just talk with AIs, never read the papers and so forth. I should not be taken seriously. I hope you guys are well. Bye.